y'all. Y'all know I'm weird. Whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. So let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video, right?
Hey everybody, I'm back. Hi. Yes, y'all know how I feel about those Caucasian men screaming when I come on the screen. Hi everybody. I hope you guys had a really great weekend. I hope you guys are having a really good day. I am here to help if you have not, girl. So Real Housewives of Potomac are, it's what we're here for. I'm still going to do a members only love and marriage DC along with some topics. Like we're definitely probably going to talk about JT and Carisha and Saucy and, all of that weird ish that went down on the internet yesterday. My God. We're going to get into that in my members only. Now, I'm going to be real with y'all. The members only is probably going to be tomorrow. Because I did some heavy lifting today. And after I finished going in on Real Housewives of Potomac, girl, I don't think I'm gonna have the energy for anything else. Okay, so yes, make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel. Make sure you like the video. Okay, if you are new here, hi girl. We're gonna get into some things. Okay, so thank you everybody for coming in. Thank you for the support. Voluptuous Shalia, hey my love, how are you? That is a cute ass Abby. Thank you for the super chat. Okay. Appreciate you. So, okay, girl. Real Housewives of Potomac. Let's go ahead and start. Why does Ink think that Jeremiah is his son? Why would this man who you allegedly just started back fooling around with, why would he think that you and Gordon's oldest child would be biologically his, to the point where he comes knocking on the door looking for the kid? Where's my kid? Girl, I think something's wrong with Ink. I think as much as Mia is trying to make it seem like, Ink is the one that got away and, she always knew she would end up with him. I just kind of feel like something's wrong with Ink. Why was he blowing your phone up? He knows you're recording the reunion show and he knows that Gordon is there. Okay? Like, I don't know what's going on, but when you think about Ink blowing her phone up when he knows where she is getting her check, then also knocking on the door at her house looking for the kid as if that would not traumatize. Like, what if the kid came to the door? Like, I'm just feeling like something's wrong with Ink, and I don't like the way we're glazing over it. But you know what? That's what Real Housewives of Potomac does. They don't ever get to the bottom of anything. Unless it has something to do with Candace or Wendy, and then we're going to drill a hole into the goddamn ground, getting to the bottom of it. Do you understand me? We're going to go to the goddamn Earth's core, asking stupid ass questions about what's going on here. Okay? But whenever it comes to all of a sudden, whatever is said, that's good enough. Okay. So let me move on. Let me press. Okay. I'm pressing. Okay. With me. Karen called Mia a hoe. And girl, what is the issue? What is the point? I mean, facts are facts. Okay. And it was like this, it takes one hoe to know another one. It was like, Karen, listen. I want all women to understand this, okay? Please, please stop throwing around that whore word to people as if that means something, okay? In real life, all sex at one point or another, whether you love the ninja or not, is transactional, meaning that at some point I'm doing this to please you as a means to an end. So, when everybody gets up here and acts like they want to throw the whole word around, it's like, girl, please, we're all hoeing to a certain degree. Okay, listen, I joke, hey, you go to the store and get me this, I might give you knowledge. I might. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might have done it anyway. Who knows? Either way, what is this? Transactional. Okay? So, like, please, I want everybody to calm down with feeling like they can throw that whole word out at other women as if your coochie has not been used in a transactional manner. And let's be clear, if you've been giving it up for nothing, that's not good either. That's not good either, girl. If you've been giving up the honey pot and not getting anything in return in any way, shape, or form, you're not winning either. Girl. Okay, I know y'all think y'all are. I know, like, the puritanical mindset that has been infused into the culture makes y'all feel like if nobody, has gotten into your pudding cup or whatever, you're better than somebody. Okay, girl, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, do what you will. But either way, I felt like this conversation of being a hoe between Karen and Mia was so stupid, especially when Andy says he's a hoe. Andy says, I'm a hoe. I'm like, Andy, we know. We've seen you rubbing on the boys, titty balls and such things. We've seen you, you know what I'm saying, with the young men out in the club on the low with the blue light. We've seen you. We know who you're into too. We know you like the boys. You like the black boys. We know, okay? So yeah, we know that everybody out here at one point or another is out here doing some whole shit. It's just that whenever it comes to women, we have to act like, oh my God, she's a whore, and I just want everybody to calm down. I do. Yes, Karen says that she found out about the rapper slash DJ at her Grand Dame family reunion party. I love the way that Karen refuses to stop calling him a rapper slash DJ. And then Mia is always, he's not a TJ. Okay, he's not a TJ. I was like, what is he? What is he? He's a radio personality. Ma'am, I don't know if you know. That is a disc jockey. That is a DJ. There are two forms of DJ. There are people that host radio shows. Those are DJs, disc jockeys. People that go on the record. Those are also DJs, okay? Because at one point, those people used to do the same job. And at some point, it kind of became like, we don't really need you to, we just need you to show up and talk on the radio and play the records, okay? Shoot to the records, all right? But essentially, it's the same thing, my girl. We don't need you to keep making that differentiation. It's just showing you trying too hard to create this, this integrity between ink and you, when there really is no integrity in this situation, no matter how you slice it, because of the way it came about. You can't make him seem integral at this point, girl. You just can't. So the difference between a DJ, disc jockey, and a motherfucking rapper don't mean nothing right now, because you're not married to him and he knocking on the door waving a 4-4 talking about, where's my kid? And you tell us that you know your body, and this is absolutely Gordon's baby. That's what she said. She said she know her body. This is absolutely Gordon's baby. Everybody, Candace and all them are like, oh my God, he has his face, his whole face. And listen, this is not a sisterhood, because the sisterhood does not, it doesn't cover all the women. And we know that. There is no real sisterhood when it comes to Wendy and Candace. And you can't tell me any different. I don't feel like Ashley or Gizelle or Robin have, and I'm not including NECA because she just got here. Y'all have never showed up for Wendy or Candace in a way that I feel like anybody should be looking at Candace, looking at Wendy to show up for them. Like, cut it the fuck out. Okay, hold up. Where is it at? Cut it the fuck out. Boo. No, I'm not expecting that from Wendy and Candace, because nobody defends them. Nobody says anything to Gizelle or Robin about the way y'all treat Candace, except for Karen, which is why we let Karen skate on that whole Wendy doesn't fit the look of Potomac shit. We let Karen skate on her own colorism issues simply because she's the one that will say something. Okay, she will say something when it comes to how they are unfairly treating Candace and Wendy in the group setting. She will. Okay, but back to Mia. Mia says that Gordon was abusing her, girl, locking her in rooms, taking her phone, drained her bank account, waking her up at 4 o'clock in the morning to have stupid ass conversations. And y'all know that is a form of torture, to be disrupting people's sleep so that you can, aggravate the shit out of them. That is a way to weaken one's mental. Okay, look it up, girl. Ways of torture, definitely disrupting sleep patterns. Okay, so now he's in anger management. Is this really about Gordon needing anger management? Is that what this is about? Because honestly, y'all know most men, especially most powerful men, are going to have anger issues. And I feel like people don't connect the dots. So let me do it for you. So a man in society with a lot of access or power creates a, I want to say, like, an energy around himself that he can always get his way, because he gets his way in business. He gets his way with women. So he's used to getting his way. Therefore, when someone does not give him his way, he acts like a toddler, because that's not supposed to happen. He doesn't even understand what the you're talking about. He's supposed to get his way. So when he's not getting his way, he then turns into someone that can be abusive, because at the end of the day, you're still the man that has a lot of control. Therefore, if you're not in control of your emotions, which you're not, what are you going to do? You're going to use your power in the situation in order to exact your revenge, which is what he did when she decided to go out and get the dick and put the dick all on the internet, posting pictures and all of that type of stuff. Then he turns to the other women who don't like her on the cast. I did not hear them say that he called Robin and Gizelle, but he called Karen, he called Wendy's husband, and he called Candace's husband to drag Mia through the dirt, as if he didn't already approve of said situationship. You knew about it. You just felt like there should have been all these parameters. But essentially, Mia said, nigga, you got me when we got married and I thought you had money, and come to find out you ain't even have no money. You were out here living bankrupt. You were perpetrating. Okay, you know what it's given? It's given Portia. It's giving Portia and Dennis Daddy, y'all. It's giving Portia and Dennis Daddy. That's what I'm feeling from it. Okay. That's what it reminds me of. You really think you're going to get with some old ass nigga and he going to, just take care of you, and you're going to be able to fly off into the sunset. You know what I'm saying? And I just kind of feel like at some point you got to be real with yourself and decide that if you're going to be in it for the money, then keep it a buck. Y'all want to create this delusion and this illusion of love when that's not really what it is. So yes, when Gordon's money is gone and he's no longer amicable to be around because of that fact, yeah, I'm going to leave this nigga. Yeah, I'm going to leave. I'm going to divorce him. But I will say this, Mia, if we're going to believe what y'all are telling us, and I'm going to just roll with it because I don't have the time to go back and forth with the fact that I think you be lying and Gordon be lying with you, okay? But what I will say is, for her to be sending him money and making sure he's good regardless, she's not doing too much, okay? Because they have a whole little situation where they're being sued for back rent because she paid her portion, moved out. He didn't want to move out and he hasn't paid his portion, okay? So she's like, I'm not paying his portion of that leftover rent. I'm not doing that. I've moved out. I have my new place. I send him money. I help him. And to me, that's all you can really ask of Mia at the end of the day, because this situation has always been transactional. Okay? Mia, you want to go out there and live your life and pop your pussy with ink, but you need Gordon to be the daddy. You need Gordon to keep the kids. Yeah, send that man some money and make sure he's good, just like we would expect a man to do for a woman when the situation is flipped. Okay? So I listen, I also feel like that's the reason why Gordon is here at the reunion show, standing beside her like a woman would do. And I don't see nothing wrong with it, because ultimately she's the one that's going to help you. Okay? She's the one that's going to make sure you're straight. So if you're showing up for her because she's the one that's taking care of you at this point, like you used to take care of her, hey, it's transactional, but at least it's fair. Okay? So him being here right now and them going through the motions of having to explain everything, I don't feel no ways about it. Okay. I don't feel bad for Gordon or any of that shit, because let's not forget that Gordon left his third wife so he can come and be, popping coochie with Mia. So it is what it is at this point. She says that they cannot divorce until the sale of all of their businesses, and I believe they'll be able to divorce in June of this year. So we'll see how that all plays out, if her and Ink even make it till then. So Mia says that everyone on the sofa reached out to her but Candace and Wendy. Wendy explains that when Gordon reached out to Chris and Eddie to expose Mia, he was nasty as fuck about it. Okay, he dragged her. It was disgusting. Okay. Wendy said that you physically assaulted me. Okay. And so my response was not to call you and check on you because I don't fuck with you like that, but because I have somewhat respect for you and I felt like what he was doing was fucked up. I'm not going to blast your shit on the internet or in an interview or on the show like I could have, like you probably would have done to me. Because to be very fucking clear, we all know that Mia has loyalty to no one. That's why her and Karen are beefing, because as she said, she's been going at Karen's neck all season and then still turned around and expected Karen to be calling her and checking up on her and reaching out. Girl, you. Girl, you. I don't have to reach out to you. You put your motherfucking hands on me. And Mia, you have never defended Candace. And then when everybody was talking shit about Chris, you jumped in on it talking about he was looking at you. And we had to see clips over and over and over again of that man not even looking in your motherfucking direction in order for us to unwrap you from the collection that was Ashley, her weird ass Sesame Street baby bop looking friend, and Gizelle and Robin byproducts, okay? Because we all know Gizelle is the planner, and Robin, you don't have any real self-esteem. It's always like hinged on another person. In this group, it's hinged on Gizelle. So you're not gonna go against Gizelle, just like Gizelle isn't gonna go against you in front of everybody. Y'all have decided to do the united front shit to the point that we can't even watch y'all have a disagreement in real time, which is some fake ass shit. And I feel like if you're not gonna be showing us your dating process, Gizelle, the least you can do is show us you and Robin actually getting into it the way y'all did versus having that little cute, short conversation y'all had about Juan going off on you. That shit had me hot when I thought about it, because I was like, you were willing to go to the blogs on your fucking friend, Robin. You was willing to go to the blogs. You took that video and was like, I might put this out, which means you had intention and thought to basically embarrass the fuck out of your friend through the blogs. Explain to me why you feel like that's cool, that's okay, but there's something wrong with Candace just saying shit on Twitter. Candace can get up and speak for herself out of her own aggravation on Twitter, but you can go talk to bloggers, right? And then you can keep the shit behind a paywall. And then you and Gizelle don't really have to discuss you guys' argument on camera, which is what you are being paid to do. You're being paid to have discourse. And it's really annoying that y'all only want to have discourse with other people, even when something is genuinely happening between you two bitches. I'm tired. I can't stand either one of them. Okay, that's just where I'm at with it, you guys. I'm sorry. I know a lot of y'all like Robin and Gizelle. I don't know why, for the life of me. I don't know. I don't see any redeeming qualities, but I know a lot of people have that whole halo effect. Bitch have like eyes, bitch look Caucasian, and y'all just love them. Okay, that's what y'all do. Anything that's close to white people. Okay? Anything that's close to white people, we loving it. And it makes me so aggravated that Robin and Gizelle act like this is not something they're aware of about their own identity. You know how people see you, Robin. You know how people see you, Gizelle. So to sit up here and act like Candace pointing out your white asses being able to get away with basically murder on this show, like is an actual showcasing of colorism with the way the fans are, the way the production is. It's not just about Gizelle and Robin and the cast being colorist. It's about the way it's all played out and produced. She don't have to do shit. She doesn't have to do anything. And then the fact that y'all keep not putting in certain videos and shit to prove Candace and Wendy's point. I remember them being in the store shopping and Gizelle talking about how she talked to Jamal and he said to leave Candace's mom, I'm sorry, Wendy's mom alone because yeah, she's evil. She's evil. And you, Robin, you were even making jokes talking about, oh, she might have put a root on me because look at everything with wine. She might have put a root on me. And now y'all gonna turn around and feign innocence and act like y'all never said anything about Wendy's mom, even though Wendy's mom ain't said shit to or about y'all. Girl, I guess. Y'all didn't have that though, right? Right, production? Y'all didn't have that? Yeah, okay. 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 Um, where was I in the notes? Because I get upset and I get taken to the side. Robin and Gizelle say Mia apologized when she hit Wendy. It doesn't matter if she apologized, okay? But then Gizelle is like, they were bumping coochies and all of that after. And now she said, girl, it doesn't matter. None of that matters. If in the moment I felt like I don't want to reach out to fucking Mia, I'm not reaching out to Mia. What point are you trying to make here? Because you don't reach out to me when shit's going on with me. So what point are you trying to make, Gizelle? Are you trying to make the point that you're a better human being than I am when you don't reach out to me? Why are you a better human being than I am, Gizelle? I didn't reach out to me, a bitch. You don't reach out to me. You don't reach out to me. You don't take any accountability for trying to make it seem like my husband was out here whoring. You girl, what? Excuse me? Cut it out. Cut it out. When I tell y'all, they are lucky because a bitch like me would have ate Gizelle and all of her neck up. I would have ate, because she felt like all she had to do was be loud and lie about shit throughout the episode, and we were just gonna let it go. But when I tell y'all, I would have got loud and ate her ass the fuck up. Girl, liar, you are lying. Conversation absolutely happened. I don't give a fuck what's on camera. You would have heard every cuss word on Peacock. Do you hear me? Anyways, Andy talking about Candace says she didn't want to get involved. Andy says, checking on her isn't getting involved. It's just being a friend. We're not fucking friends, Andy. Are we missing it? Are we missing it? Stop with the faking. Stop with the fraud shit. They're not friends. None of them have acted like friends towards Wendy and Candace. None of them. Not Mia, not Ashley, not Gizelle, not Robin, not Nneka. And I would say not Karen, but Karen makes it a point to, make sure she go film with somebody. She ain't got time for y'all to be fucking up her check. At least this season. Okay? So a part of Mia knew she would end up with ink. I told y'all that. Robin wants Mia to clarify. Girl, Mia has been on y'all's side. Mia literally explained her living situation. She said, I live in DC. Gordon lives in what? South Carolina? That's what she said. He live in Charlotte or something like that. He got a house in Charlotte. And that's the situation. Okay? Robin says, okay, well, wait. Can you explain? Can you clarify the living situation? Because when we came to see you, we were in Atlanta and you were saying that Gordon was in Charlotte with the kids. And I was just with Robin, this is literally what Candace talks about when she says you are always trying to get everybody else to overshare their fucking lives. But when it comes to you, you have nothing to say. And you want to get loud and back everybody off of you like you fucking Julia Roberts and there's a whole bunch of deer in the backyard. I'm tired. You have been doing this the entire show, asking questions after people have already answered them as if you are trying to make a point with your line of questioning. So were you trying to point out the fact that Mia didn't have her kids and she was in Atlanta and her kids were with Gordon? Was that an attempt to showcase that Mia isn't as present as a parent because the kids were with Gordon? Is that what you were trying to do, Robin? Because the line of questioning was fucking stupid, considering the fact that literally Mia had just said, I have my place in DC. Gordon has his place in Charlotte. When she was in Atlanta, she was at Ink's place. We've already determined that her and Ink are in a relationship. So it would make sense that if y'all met up in Atlanta and she didn't have the kids, it's because Gordon has the kids in Charlotte and she's in Atlanta with Ink right now. And she still has her place in DC for when she has to film this show. Why is that confusing? Why is that confusing, Robin? Girl, that's you once again trying to get everybody else to clarify shit for you. And you've been doing it this entire show, the whole 8 seasons of Real Housewives of Potomac. Robin takes the most annoying, inopportune time to ask for clarification or a deeper dive into something that has already been discussed, merely so that she can try to prove the other person is lying in some way. Because if they don't explain it in the exact same way, then she's going to ask another question as if it's a lie. She does this again when it comes to Chris. Girl. And she's doing it on purpose. She's not that fucking slow. She's doing it on purpose. But I think it's so funny the way Mia always tries to show solidarity, running behind Robbins, sitting on the motherfucking curb, and her Monica, here we are face to face, shoes looking ass. I never meant to cause you no pain. Baby, believe me, I just wanna go back to being the same, baby. Yeah. Okay, listen. I only want to make it right, Robin. You working on our nerves. Mia always want to run behind a bitch, and they don't really care about you, girl. So I'm going to need for you to be a little bit more in the middle next season. I'm not going to be watching probably, but you should be a little bit more in the middle next season, girl. Okay, so Gizelle doesn't want to talk about what's going on with her dad. So Robin and Mia tell everyone that her dad had brain cancer. He had to have surgery. And we know later Gizelle's dad passed away. Wendy says that she called her mother evil. So at the end of the day, you talk shit about my mom. I don't give a fuck about your dad. Gizelle is like, I never said that. I did not know that your mom was in the hospital. Excuse me? Ma'am who went to college, why is this hard for you to understand? It does not matter if you knew. Your comments calling Wendy's mom evil was still unwarranted, disrespectful, and fucked up. So now that you want us to feel bad for you because of your father, even though, yes, surgery, elective surgery, what's going on with Wendy's mom's skin tone, all of that shit. Yes, all of it. But does that mean it's okay for Gizelle to do shit like that, to call somebody's mama evil and all of that? And we supposed to give a fuck about what's going on with her and her pa? I'm telling y'all, I don't care. I also don't want to see her crying about Grace anymore. I don't care. I'm low-key worried that Grace is going to turn into just as much of an asshole as Gizelle is. And I can't care. I can't care. I can't care. I'm sorry. Especially when I know that even though your father was a proponent in the civil, he was a person involved in the civil rights movement and all of this, okay? Even though that's true, okay? Real father, real man, he was probably a colorist. Based on shit he said about that black lady in the newspaper, yeah. It seems like your daddy might have been colorist. And in all honesty, I didn't even need any evidence of that nature. I already know what men like him that grow up in Louisiana think of themselves and their whole stature in government, their access. They have been given things, specifically in Louisiana, they have been given things because they are passing for white. They are poisson blanc. Gizelle knows that she's poisson blanc. She knows that her dad is poisson blanc. She knows that the only reason that her dad was probably allowed to be into politics to the level that he was in Louisiana and anywhere else is because he's poisson blanc. So please stop fucking acting like you don't know how you are, who you are, and why people are responding to you the way they are. It has nothing to do with Candace. You've been colorist this whole time, and you know how you show up in this world, which is why the first season you thought you had a leg up over Katie, right? Because Katie was actually biracial, and y'all just come from two mixed up families. And let's be very clear, y'all, I'm from fucking New Orleans, and if I don't know nothing like I know colorism, I know colorism. And I know that Robin and Gizelle's parents probably specifically sought after each other because they were poisson blanc. Robin's parents are both light complected, and so is Gizelle's probably. Purposeful. Those families have children together on purpose so that their lines will remain poisson blanc, because if you are poisson blanc, you get more advantages in life. Period. Jobs, access in government. And I know this specifically because I grew up in New Orleans, and I know what our line of mayors have looked like. All look like they went to St. Aug. If you from New Orleans, you know what St. Aug niggas look like. Soft hair. They could be dark. They could be, but they better still have that soft ass hair texture. Okay? But light skin usually. But you have to in some way show some proximity to whiteness, whether it's having smaller features, whether it's having a smoother, softer texture of hair, or whether it's being light skinned. You have to show up in those three ways in Louisiana in order to be bolstered slightly above the rest. And that's just what it is. That's how you get into politics out here. It was certain families that were allowed to be involved. So that's why I'm just getting so aggravated with Gizelle, because historically, girl, we all know what it is. Anybody from New Orleans knows what it is. Anybody from Louisiana knows what it is, to the point that one of the first things I ever heard about my grandfather that died when I was like 2 years old was he wanted to make sure that I wasn't too dark because my mom was dark. So what they do when I come out, check my fingertips and my ears to see how dark I was gonna be. So you want me to believe that your daddy wasn't colorist, that you aren't colorist? Girl, get the fuck out of here. I won't believe that, no matter how much you try to impress that on us. And Robin, I don't give a fuck about how you feel about that. Was so terrible. That was so terrible for them to say that. Oh, girl, we all know that for your whole life you've been having to prove that you black. We know. That's why you sticking beside Juan's ass, right? Because ain't nothing blacker than a woman sticking beside an ain't shit ass nigga, right? Right? Making self-sacrifices and struggling with your love and sticking beside them and staying down and riding and dying and in there to the end. Yeah, all of that is so you could showcase how down you are. Because you have often been called a white girl. I'm more than sure, because that's what you look like, especially when you're not talking. I can see what you are, but that's because I grew up around people that look exactly like Gizelle and exactly like Robin, and they're black. And I know this. So yeah, I can see it, but white people don't be knowing. White people do not be knowing. And yes, I know Robin, they did her DNA test and came back 59% European, which really made her look stupid when you think about how hard she went in on Katie, about Katie having to choose and pick and clarify. Let's be clear. Y'all wanted Katie to pick a side. Y'all wanted to prove that Katie was feeling a way about her blackness. She was trying to separate herself from her blackness, because we all know that's what black people like to do in the black community. Y'all like to check other people's blackness. And because Katie was biracial, y'all felt like that gave y'all the leg up to continue to go in on Katie about being half Jewish and half African American. Y'all continue to go in on her about that as if that was so hard to fucking understand. And it stems from y'all feeling like y'all aren't black enough. And this woman who's biracial, when it comes to her phonetics and how she shows up in the world, she shows up in the world as blacker than Gizelle and Robin. And so they had to assert their dominance in the black community as the two that actually had two black parents, as if that made a difference in how they show up in the world. Because at the end of the day, Katie is still going to show up in the world black. And that clip of Gizelle saying that she showed up with the Jackson 5 afro, I want every black person that refers to any afro as a Jackson 5 afro, if you're not specifically talking about the mold of the afro, I want you to know that you have a separation from black culture, and we know it, because that should not be your only example of an afro. It is 2024. We have gone through the natural hair movement and everything. People sprush and have the hair free form and have the hair locking up with curls when they fro. People do all types of different afros these days. It's not just the Jackson 5 one that's all shaped perfectly and padded until it's perfectly rounded. Every afro is not like that. So when y'all refer to afros as Jackson 5 afros, it just shows me you are extremely removed from black culture. But yet you felt like you were sitting in a position of dominance on a pedestal to then judge Katie's blackness. And now we get to this point, and Candace is able to turn around and do the exact same thing to y'all, and now we're fucking confused on what colorism is. Girl, go to hell. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna come back, and I'm gonna continue to go down this pathway. Like the video.
Anywhere you go, give it on. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
All right, y'all. Don't forget the Phuket, Thailand trip is from June 13th to June 20th, 2024 with Reset by Design Wellness. Make sure you go to www.resetbydesignwellness.com to sign up if you are interested in being a part of our next trip to Phuket, Thailand. Make sure you follow Reset by Design Wellness on Instagram. I post them all the time, so make sure y'all are following them. If y'all aren't interested in this trip, maybe y'all will want to go to the next trip. Okay, so make sure you're following on all of the platforms. Girl. All right. This is when we went to Ghana. We had an amazing time. This was the very first retreat, and it was so above expectation that I can't wait to see what the second trip is going to be like, girl, because it's going to be amazing. And I can't wait. It's coming up soon. So make sure y'all go down below in that description box. Use the code Bondy5, get 5% off if you're trying to come through. Okay, it was really a great bonding experience, and I need the break, so I can't wait. I can't wait, girl. I've been trying to go to Thailand forever. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and get back into it. Please remind me to read the super chats when we get to the end. All right. Thank you. So Wendy says that she actually did reach out to Gizelle and congratulate her when she found out what school that Grace was going to, asked if she was going to be an AKA. Giselle, that did not happen. That did not happen. That did not happen. Ma'am, when I tell you I don't believe a motherfucking word you saying, I don't believe you, not even a little bit, not even at all. When Candace said that did happen, that did happen, I was like, that's all y'all needed to say. Wendy and Candace said it happened. Guess what? It happened. I don't believe anything Gizelle is saying. I believe that you like to ignore whenever Candace or Wendy show you any amount of consideration because you don't want to like them. You don't want to be cool with them. You don't want to make it right with them. You just want them to get off the show. And I think it's so funny that you can get into it with everybody else on this show and move past it, but you can't move past it with Candace and Wendy when at the end of the day, you fucking started it going after their husbands because your miserable ass can't seem to hold on to one as if that's a, great feat or something like that. Okay? It's not. It's not that hard to hold on to a man, Gizelle. It's not. Okay? And you haven't been able to do that, and you've internalized that. Now you're bitter and angry because you feel like your light eyes and light skin should have you a man taking care of you, but instead you out here thotting and bopping. And guess what, girl? I think you should be thotting and bopping. I do. I think you should be having fun spreading that cooch low and wide all over the eastern seaboard if that's what you want to do, girl. That's how I feel about it. But you like to pretend as if you're still Mother Mary over there. That's why you're always wearing those homely ass off the rack dresses, right? Because you don't want to show any bit of those stovepipe legs, as Karen called them. Okay. Anyway, definitely jealous that you're not in a position of Wendy and Candace having men in their lives that are there to support them and, there to help their old asses get out of the tub when they need help. Okay. Gizelle says that Jason can do whatever he wants. She can do whatever she wants. She's dating other men. Exactly. NECA asked, well, are you seeing someone else? NECA was trying to hold people's feet to the fire every now and again. And I was like, girl, listen, I know you're trying to save yourself, but at this point, we don't care. So Candace had a lump in her breast that shrunk. Thank God. Okay. Listen, blessings. Okay. Blessings. Candace didn't like Drew SEDURE. Okay, so she didn't like Drew SEDURE anymore because Drew SEDURE was doing bad business. We all know that Drew moves like a snake, right? You can't trust anything she says. She's like a level above Mia. Okay, she's a level above Mia. But essentially I can see her doing some backhanded business shit and then Candace being like, girl, why didn't you just hit me up? Why didn't you say something? Why didn't you ask? And then her be like, what? I ain't answer that. What? Like, girl, it's fine. Y'all don't need to work together. It doesn't matter. So Michael's lawsuit was dismissed. Because how the fuck you gonna sue somebody for telling the truth? I'm sorry. I'm so glad that shit got dismissed. Because how the fuck you gonna sue somebody for telling the truth? Michael, are you on camera grabbing people's asses? I feel like he absolutely was, which is why you can't sue somebody for commenting on something that you did. So thank God for the judge that had sense and was like, you know what? This is just foolishness. You're trying to seek revenge on this black woman because she was able to freely speak on her negative opinion of you in a public forum, and you feel like her black ass shouldn't have been able to do that? Well, guess what? She can, because what she said was true. Anyway, Ashley is still denying that she knew anything about it and that she was not going to get any money from the situation. Ashley, nobody believes you. I've said it from the very beginning. You are jealous of Candace. I think that you and Gizelle have that feeling in common, that Candace being dark complected is like, y'all are not computing that her life has been better than y'all's because she's dark complected. Like, I don't care what anybody's saying. I think that Ashley has always been jealous of Candace's upbringing and felt like, how is it that me with a white father had this living under the bridge ass childhood with my mom, but Candace, is constantly being given whatever she needs, down to her mom even purchasing her a home. Okay. Gizelle, I think the same thing. I think you feel like, how dare she not only be, on your same level on this show and, have her husband and all of that, but also how dare she be from an affluent family and also have worked with a president like you did. You like to be able to hold those types of things over other people's heads, and you couldn't do that with Candace. So I think that pissed you off. Just like when you tried to assert your dominance over Monique and she reminds you about her 4 houses and that one $900,000 tear down that you can't seem to get together. Right. Cool. Moving along. So Gizelle says no one supported Candace more than her when season 5 happened. I will say what Candace said. I've been saying it. The only reason she did that was because she wanted to get rid of Monique, because once again, Monique had what? How many houses, y'all? 4. Okay. Um Gizelle says, nope, nope, nope. That's not true. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This is now the second time where you've been loud and lying. No, you absolutely did. You never really liked Candace like that. And it was very fucking obvious, because why? Why would you create that narrative around her husband? And then you're feigning ignorance as if you don't know what you're saying. Girl, bye. I think you plotted just like you always plot. Candace says Gizelle has always felt like it's always been hating on Monique. Gizelle says, get out of here. Candace says, I'm out. This is the moment where, we realize Candace has already decided she's not coming back. I wonder if she's pregnant. That might explain all this crying, but whatever. Candace was going for Robin's job on the internet. Candace says, well, we have to think about the timeline. Okay. I had reached out to Robin. Robin let me know that she is mad that I said she's white adjacent. Even though we know that she looks white, she is upset that I said it. Then I reached out to her again, asked her if she was mad. She ignored me. Then later on, when everything happened with Juan, I reached out. She ignored me. So at this point, oh, you're not fucking with me for real. Okay, well, then I'm not fucking with you either. And when I find out all this stuff, now I'm going for your jugular. Robin is so hurt because she was being accused of being a colorist and she didn't know how to navigate it. Girl, I wish I gave a fuck. You can cry all you want to. I wish you choke on your tears. Because in all honesty, all I can think about is the way you went at Katie about having to pick and choose whether she was black or Jewish in order to prove that she wasn't as black as you are. So now to be, I didn't know how to navigate that. Oh, you didn't? You knew how to navigate the conversation with Katie though. Anyway, this is when, Candace goes into her, best Miss Congeniality. And she says, yes, I understand that in my family, topics of racial, disparages, colorism, all those things are normal. And maybe it wasn't. I thought it was. I thought we all had these conversations before, but apparently we did not. And that is my fault. I'm sorry. Okay. I apologize for that. Gizelle says that you insinuated I was a colorist. So this is the thing. As soon as Candace shows Robin any consideration, Gizelle thinks that she can then hop on because now we've weakened her. So now I can hop on top. And this is why y'all need to be separated, because y'all shouldn't be able to gang up on nobody. Candace and Robin can't make up or get any form of resolution because Gizelle won't allow it to happen. She doesn't want it to happen. So it won't happen. But also, this is on Robin as well. Please don't get me wrong. I do think that Robin is really unfair with Candace because I think that she feels like anything she does that slighted Chris or Candace should just be overlooked. But whenever Candace responds, then all of a sudden Candace is doing too much and that's unforgivable. And I'm like, she could feel like it was unforgivable for you to say, oh, well, isn't it, can we all agree that a married man shouldn't be going to anybody's hotel room? Like, that was your way of defending Gizelle when we all know that Gizelle was plotting. And at the beginning, you were saying you weren't cool with the road she was trying to take with it, Robin. So you knew that she was purposefully pushing a narrative about Chris. And you said at first you understood that. And then by the time we get to the reunion show, once Gizelle has punked you, now you're changing your fucking story. Now you're changing your attitude, and we're all just supposed to forgive that, right? Candace was supposed to just let that fly off. You want to be grouped in with Gizelle? You're grouped in with Gizelle, bitch. It is what it is. You are white adjacent. Getting upset about a fact like that is crazy to me. But I also don't like the way everybody keeps forcing the onus on Candace for why Gizelle and Robin are considered colorists, even though these conversations were basically happening before they even got on the show, before Wendy and Candace got on the show. And Wendy says, when is the conversation going to change from, oh, I'm not a colorist, why would you call me that, to, okay, but why are you being called a colorist? When are we going to have the conversation about what's being done in order for people to feel that way in the first place? Candace and Monique both said on public platforms they did not believe that the women on the cast were colorists, which made me feel like it was probably more so them feeling like production was showing favoritism to Robin and Gizelle and Karen. And they were probably feeling like that was happening because these people are closer to white. The production company is probably mostly white. So having the production company show favoritism to the white adjacent people on the cast is what I really think everybody's talking about, but they didn't want to say. Okay? I feel like Robin and Gizelle are colorist. And I feel this way because, for instance, with Wendy, Robin and Wendy got into it because when Gizelle was trying to put it out there that Eddie was a cheater, Robin did not seem to have any real impartiality in the situation. She seemed to only want to kind of put more fuel on the fire with bringing that rumor to the show that Eddie was a cheater. And so when Wendy was like, girl, fuck you, stop playing with me, where's Juan? Then all of a sudden now what Wendy has done is, unforgivable. And now you're trying to ostracize her from the show and y'all were never cool. Nothing that Wendy has done to Robin was ever that deep in order for her to take that attitude towards Wendy and trying to like basically push her out of the group. And please believe y'all, she did that shit very quickly. As soon as they had that little discourse, now all of a sudden Robin doesn't want to invite Wendy to events, but she wants Candace to bring her kids. Girl, what the fuck? Like, to me, Robin and Gizelle are really the same. They do the same shit. But essentially, Robin is able to hide behind, oh, I'm cool. I'm cool. But if you really were, then why don't you ever really stand on business when it comes to some of these situations? Because you're going along with it. You just like to hide behind Gizelle, let Gizelle be the big bad monster while you get to pretend like it's not really you, when really you're pushing the narratives about people just as much as Gizelle is. So why is it that you couldn't get past the issue with Wendy? You and Karen get into it all the time, and you still don't try to push Karen out. You may constantly say little shit to her, but you never try to push her out. You don't ever disinvite her to shit. Karen decides that she's not going to go. But essentially, when it comes to Wendy, you were trying to ostracize her. I wonder why. Because it wasn't that deep. So I wonder why. To me, looks like colorism. Also looks like you just being copycat on what Gizelle's energy is. Gizelle keeps trying to push people out for her own personal reasons, her own personal colorism reasons of feeling like, how dare you darker, browner women have anything better than me? So, and how dare y'all come at me? So now I have to humble y'all and let y'all know who the queen bee is. So now I'm gonna get y'all fired off this fucking show. Yeah. Yeah, that's the vibe Giselle's coming with. Hmm. And Robin rolls with it when it suits her. When it's advantageous to her, she rolls with it and she pushes forth the same narratives that Gizelle does. Period. Okay. Um, so I don't see a problem with Candace going for Robin's job. Fuck Robin. You've been here this whole time not giving a goddamn thing. Um, what else? NECA asked, so why are you guys colorists? Y'all, I was dying. I'm not gonna lie. NECA got me in that one moment. I was laughing my ass. Oh, but why are you guys colors? I mean, can we get like why are they saying you guys are colorists? Why are you guys colorists? Girl, I was dying laughing. I was like, a NECA, that was a nice try, but that would have been way cuter if you had done that shit during the season versus waiting until the second parts of the reunion. But okay, girl. If we see you next season, we might pay attention, but wait for your face to get cracked because them hoes gonna play you to the left. Anyway, so Robin says, it's ridiculous. I've gotten into it with Karen and Ashley. Yes, and you still have not tried to ostracize them from the group or the show. Have you not noticed? Y'all don't invite Wendy and Candace to shit, but you will still invite Karen. You will still invite Ashley. And Ashley's a part of the messy girl clique. She's a part of y'all clique now. Yeah, y'all got into it for 3 years, but that was almost like hazing. And because y'all had nobody else. She was the only one that y'all could really go after until y'all started going after Karen. Because the whole show started off with them seeing Ashley as the, the young wild one, while everybody else is, more together and they're more classy than Ashley was supposed to be. Ashley was supposed to come on the show free, bohemian, fucking my old man and twerking and, just doing whatever we wanted to do. And y'all were supposed to be like, no, girl, you have got to clean it up. That's how y'all handled Ashley when she first came on the show. Yeah. You didn't have anybody else to beef with, bitch, to be clear, until Karen, pushed herself to the front as the grand dame, and then you decided to fuck over her for that. Like, Robin, you, girl, what? You didn't find a way to have beef with everybody on this show. Absolutely. But you have not tried to push them out, ostracize them, and keep them from getting a check the way y'all have for Candace and Wendy. So I don't give a fuck. Once again, don't care, not even a little bit, not even at all, about Candace tweeting anything about you. I don't care. I don't know why y'all act like the shit she says on Twitter is so terrible. I do not care. And I've been feeling like that. It's lightweight as far as I'm concerned, because I would hurt your fucking feelings and I would not care. I would be the most politically incorrect bitch on a reality show because I would talk about the dead daddy. I would talk about Robin's parent. I would talk about everybody. I would talk about everybody. Once you bring my husband into it, please know I am going to hell on you. On girl, going to hell and not going to care about it. Do you hear me? And I'm going to stand on business about it. I'm not going to ever let up. I would have been mentioning Juan. I would have been mentioning why Gizelle can't seem to keep one man at a time. Girl, what's going on? Are the cakes moist or not? Yeah, I would stay on their neck constantly, consistently, and without motherfucking fail. That's how I would be about it. But Candace wants to play it cute because she's Miss Congeniality. Okay. So the men are about to come out, and Juan Dixon is still not here. And NECA tells her husband, listen, support me, or you can go and find out wherever the hell Juan Dixon is. Girl, I don't know what's going on between the NECA and her husband, but she be checking the fuck out him left and right. I loved what he had on. Like he looked like a beautiful like starlit sky at night. I loved it. Okay. I was just like, damn, I like the hat and the shirt. Damn, that nigga look good. That was nice. Anyway, so Chris has not been around because y'all accused him of trying to fuck Gizelle. So no, he doesn't want to be around. Andy asked him how he feels about Robin. Do he still feel like Robin was plotting? I don't give a fuck, is what Chris said. Chris said, when they asked him about that girl who said that she had sex with him, I low-key feel like this is my fault. I low-key feel like this is my fault. Because when Tasha asked me if it sounded plausible, I was like, I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. Yeah. Not saying that, it was true or not, but saying I could believe it because I could believe that any nigga would cheat. I could believe that anybody, period. I could believe that anybody could cheat on a spouse, especially if we've seen them show favoritism to people that their spouse is in, has issues with. To me, the way Chris has always extended himself to Gizelle, Robin, and Ashley, no matter how terribly they have treated Candace, absolutely made me feel like it was a possibility. And so then Tasha put the story. And then the lady said that, she on the phone high and drunk and y'all showing us dick pics. And it's like, it's a dick pic, but it's not attached to a person. Yes, you can absolutely Photoshop text messages, Robin. I know you wanted Chris to answer that question as if him saying he believed that those texts were Photoshop would be, preposterous. Like we would just assume he was lying. And then it's like, girl, do you not remember all of the excuses that you just made for Juan? About him deleting shit out of his phone, about him paying for the hotel room. Girl, we got an actual receipt on your nigga paying for a hotel room for a bitch. But for some reason, you felt like you needed to further question Chris about the pictures of his limp penis, which was absolutely shade towards him. Girl, whether it's hard or limp, it doesn't matter because Juan Dixon's dick is hard for someone else. So, at the end of the day, she said she lied. Then she said she wasn't lying. And I still believe that Gizelle and Robin could have had something to do with it, especially now that we know how Robin likes to go to the blogs and shit. I absolutely believe you could have had something to do with that woman coming out saying that she did something with Chris. And I think that y'all would have put that story out to make it seem as if he really was a sneaky link type dude. Therefore, not make Gizelle look as bad. But it still makes you look bad because you didn't insinuate that he was just, a sneaky link. You insinuated that he forced you into a hotel room and you were uncomfortable and he knew beforehand that nobody was in the room. Therefore, he was going to try and take advantage of you. That's what you made it seem like. That's what you insinuated. All of a sudden, you know what the fuck insinuation means when we're talking about colorism, but you don't understand the insinuation of the words you use when it comes to accusing Chris of sexual misconduct. Okay, fine. We can roll with that. Like Chris said, it's funny how y'all want to hold Candace accountable for every little thing she says on Twitter about these hoes, but nobody wants to him or her whenever Gizelle gives a blanketed, oh, well, I didn't mean forced or made. I just mean he asked me. As if her insinuation is not still the same to this day, continuing to say that man knew that nobody was in her hotel room and he asked her to her hotel room, even though he did not. He asked her if they could speak privately. She said, let's go to her hotel room. Okay. So we can believe that y'all had something to do with it. We can absolutely believe that and not give a fuck about what you say about it. Okay. All right. Andy then says, well, Juan Dixon isn't here. So nothing has changed, girl. Juan Dixon still isn't showing up, probably somewhere at a laundromat with another bitch, okay? Somewhere doing all the things with her that he won't do with you. Because does he help you with the kids? Does he wash clothes with the kids? Has he ever went and got a manicure or pedicure with you? I know that, y'all went and got that little massage together where he fell asleep on your ass, once again playing in your face on camera and making it seem as if y'all are in an imbalanced relationship where you're the only one that's trying and he's only here because that was the only paycheck y'all had. Then for him to turn around, still not show up at the reunion show. Andy asked all of the men, how do they feel about Juan not showing up? Gordon was the only one real enough to say, yeah, okay, I have to say it. I'm here to support my wife under the circumstances. Why the fuck Juan ain't here to support his wife? I can only assume that means he don't like her that much. That's what we can only assume, girl, is that Juan does not like Robin that much because he won't even show up so that he can take some of the brunt. So he can just allow her for once to rest in her fucking feminine. But y'all don't even think about that when it comes to Juan and Robin and how she's basically constantly in her big shouldered white boy masculinity because Juan won't allow her to be in her soft feminine space. I mean, he's not working. He's probably not helping her with the kids. Then he's mean and disrespectful. Then he made it harder for her to do her little job on this reality show. Girl, Juan is not good for business. Juan is not good for business. If Robin had any self-respect, she would have stopped making him a thing when Ashley was getting in her ass about that relationship. Babe, we just want to make sure, that you're that you're being respected, babe. Are you happy? Robin, nobody believes that you're happy. Nobody believes that Juan really likes you. Which is why you're so miserable. People who are usually extremely miserable in their personal lives tend to go at other people so much harder because if they can go and relish in somebody else's pain, like you do all the time, like you do with Karen, like you did, honestly, I feel like you enjoyed being able to push Candace out, enjoyed being able to have you and finally somebody having a united front with you. That's what it felt like. You and Gizelle have the relationship you wish you had with Juan because he's never going to have your back. And that's sad because you fuck him. I wish you would just fuck Gizelle. I wish. You know what I mean? That would make all the sense in the world. All right, super chats. Thank you, CE, for the super chat. So we supposed to believe Mia now after she told us all 3 seasons she married Gordon for his money, like G was giving him 10K at the stripper joint. Listen, y'all know I don't really truly believe anything. Anything that Mia says. Aquarius 74, thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate you. Gemini Nola, girl, come on. Listen, we better have all that shit in common. Bondy, we call it light, bright, and damn near white. They get privileges, the darker complexions do not. Periods. And this is why I know that I'm really not as light as people think I am, because when I was growing up, I had a best friend that was like Robin and Gizelle's color with the curly hair. And I had a perm, girl. I've had a perm since I was 6. Okay, it's not the same experience. It's not. Okay. ACM Media, thank you for the super chat. Bondy, the way you gathered everybody should be studied, girl. Thank you so much. Thank you. Siki, thank you for the super chat. Jiz and Robin definitely give Mount Carmel or Ursa. Like, girl, don't they? Oh my God. Oh my girl, definitely. Oh, in a maybe a slight Cabrini tea. But it's definitely giving more Mount Carmel Ursuline, but a slight Cabrini tea, girl. Anyway, Lady T, thank you for the super chat. Go in, Bondy. Just a little love for your hard work. Love you, boo. Thank you so much. Love you right back. Thank you. Desiree Coleman, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate y'all for showing so much love today. Brandy Singleton, thank you for being a member for 17 months. Hey, Bondy, you're correct. Just trash. Dump the whole show since you want to hold on to shit. Hold on to it off the show. Robin, no words. Love you, Bondy. Love you too, girl. Kim Cat, thank you for the super chat. Robin and Jizz, y'all calling Gizelle Jizz is hilarious to me because all I could think about is sperm shooting across the room. Girl, Robin and Jizz is so fake lying, talking about she's uncomfortable talking about race and colorism, and that's all they talked about the first season. And Andy's bias is fucking annoying. Ain't it though? Crystal Brewer, hey, my love. Thank you for the super chat. First, it's not enough likes on this video. Okay, now for Gizzard and her Spring 24 pledge line. She operates like a person with antisocial disorder. Ooh, and she do. And she do. The moment, y'all, when Candace, okay, so Candace got emotional when Gizelle was talking about losing her father. And Andy makes it a point to say, Gizelle, like Candace is actually showing like real tears and emotion behind what you're going through. Mia, she cries at the drop of a hat. That might be true, but everybody was emotional. Ashley's, Karen is over there wiping tears. Everybody is getting emotional for the most part behind Gizelle showing emotion behind her father's death. So why do we have to point out that Candace does it? I don't know. But we pointed out, I guess, to show that Candace still has love and respect for Gizelle, which we all know because she's constantly trying to get her and Robin to see, to see how it really is and to see how they've hurt her, but they don't care how they've hurt you. That's the thing. You think they're just not getting it. They don't want to get it, is what's really going on. Okay? There's a refusal of accountability here. All right? Period. So when Gizelle says, oh, she's crying, even when it's not about her, I literally wanted to take Candace and shake the shit out of her. I mean, I wanted to shake her until her wig turned straight. I wanted to shake her until she stopped because I really do not like when people are emotionally vulnerable in unsafe environments because it makes me feel so bad for them. I do not feel like Candace's tears are disingenuous. I don't believe that. I really do believe that Candace is a people pleaser, hyper vigilant, and cares a lot about people that treat her badly because of her relationship with her parents. I do. I think there is some abandonment issues on account of the father, and I think there is some mental and emotional abuse issues with Dorothy. No respect, Dorothy, but the way you talk to your daughter in front of us lets me know that in private, you probably used to be very critical of Candace and also require Candace to be emotionally tied to you while being hypercritical of her. You can tell by the way she felt about Candace's relationship with her father, like feeling jealous about the way Candace related to her father because he felt, I guess the mama felt like, oh, he hurt me. And you can't be showing him, that you really care about him because it hurts me. You can't tell me that Dorothy did not create hyper vigilance, people pleasing, and I feel like a displacement of emotional familiarity with people. I think it's made Candace try to find approval, validation, and comfort in anybody she comes into contact with, but specifically with mean ass bitches that are like her mom. Because Gizelle is a mean ass bitch. The way Robin treats Candace, mean ass bitch. And I recognize it so much because I am similar. I'm such a similar personality to Candace. It is fucking ridiculous. I understand why she would cry. That's why I don't ever like to judge her for crying because I cry when I'm angry. The times where I have gotten into complete fist fights, I was crying. So everybody's, oh, why she's always crying? Bitch, the tears are coming. I can't control it and I'm not going to do it for you. Okay, y'all want hoes to hold in fights and tears. That's too much. You're asking for too much. Okay, thank you for the super sticker, everyday people. 629. Thank you. Makai, hey love. Thank you for the super chat. I think Mia did marry him for money, but got played like poor. Absolutely. Girl, who thinks, girl? Whoever thinks Mia didn't marry Gordon for money is a fucking lie. Now, what ends up happening, just like it used to back in the 15, 16, 17, 1800s, where people would force people who were not in love to get married simply for, family and money and farm and property and all of that. You know how marriage originally started out? Yeah. Back when people used to do that, what they told y'all what's the movie Coming to America? They learned to love each other. I come to love him. I eventually loved him. After you spend a certain amount of time with somebody, you might start to like their ass if they nice enough. Yeah, over years of being forced to be with somebody, yeah, you could start liking their ass over some time, especially if you felt like it was, a means to an end. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I can eventually let my guard down and start to like this nigga who I really got with for money because there was a time when I was sick and he took care of me, or he's always been supportive with the kids and all of that. So yeah, initially I married the nigga for money, but if you think I don't have an affection for him after years of being together, that would make me a very cold-hearted person, wouldn't it? I don't think that Mia is cold-hearted. I just think, kind of like a bimbo, floozy type, like that, but not even like not in a judgmental whole way, but just in a fly by the seat of my pants. I'm gonna get it however I'm gonna get it. I lie, I deceive, whatever. But when it all came down to it, Mia's raising her children. I feel like Mia takes care of her children. She doesn't seem to be someone that doesn't love her kids, and he ain't got no money, and she's still helping him. She could have left his ass destitute, and that's not what she did. So essentially, even though I don't like Mia like that, I still feel like, yeah, you married him for money, but that don't mean that you don't have affection for him. It just means you're not willing to sacrifice your happiness for him any longer because it's no longer financially advantageous to do so. And that's what makes sense to me. Nobody's really mad at you for leaving, girl. At least I'm not. I don't give a fuck. He didn't left 11 women for you. You know what I'm saying? 3 marriages and left the last one for you, girl. He'll be okay. Sharon Middleton, thank you for becoming a member, my girl. Thank you. Courtney, thank you for being a member for 25 months. I know I'm a topic, but would you consider reviewing Summer House Martha's Vineyard? I might. I've been watching. I have to watch I think I have to watch last night's episode again, but I've been watching. I'm gonna tell y'all, I still don't like Brie. Is it Brie? I still don't like her. I feel bad that Jordan is losing her hair, but I feel like Jordan, you were a bitch before you started losing your hair. You know what I'm saying? And and I also don't like when women show men who already have an inflated sense of self that they're fine. Like I don't appreciate that. That nigga know he fine. Stop showing him how fine he is. Summer and everybody else. Stop. Okay? Y'all look stupid. Y'all are too old for this. Y'all are not in college. Y'all are not in high school. If a man is showcasing himself to be emotionally unavailable to you, you ain't never been with him, like you fucked him. But y'all ain't, the new girl was getting mad and all of that. Girl, I was just sitting up there like, why is y'all letting this nigga know how fine he is? Like, stop it. Stop it. That's not good for anybody for him to think that he's that nigga amongst all of y'all. Y'all just I'm sorry, y'all. We'll talk about that another time. Hey, Talia. Thank you for the super chat. Hi, Bondi. I was so frustrated when they got on Wendy and Candace about not calling Jizza when her father passed. They weren't in a good place on some real stuff to be able to give genuine condolences. Yeah, nah, I feel you on that. Oh, and thank you for another super chat. Took the words out my mouth about wanting Candace to stop showing them emotions that they don't deserve. You know what they did to you and your family, Candace. You aren't wrong at all. No, but that's the gaslighting, making you feel like you crazy because everybody around you would rather lie in order to keep Gizelle happy than tell the truth. Marty1003, thank you for the super chat. Men rarely hold each other accountable. Rarely, child. Rarely. Because you know why? Let me tell y'all something. Shout out to my girl Erica De Niro. Okay. Because she put me on this book and I've been listening to it. The Way We Never Were, y'all, it's so good. The Way We Never Were, American Families in a Nostalgia Trap by Stephanie Kuntz. And I had just kind of started paying attention to the way I feel like people don't remember life in a historical standpoint. They remember life the way they saw it on TV shows, like in real life, like all of this traditional lifestyle, like, oh, back when girl, it was never like that, especially in the Black community. Bitches was always working. I don't know what anybody's talking about. And if you were at home and you weren't working, where did your family live? In the projects. Okay. So, Celia Heath, thank you for becoming a member, my love. So I feel like essentially people never remember shit actually the way it is. But this book, The Way It Never Was, really talks about the way in the past men would be harmed if they were not checking their wives and if they were not upholding a certain level of, you got your woman in control type of shit. Like I was just listening to a part of the book where they talk about like back in the 1800s, it was more of like a neighborhood type of thing. So you know how we grew up feeling like, oh, if the neighbor want to whip the kid gonna get whipped by the neighbor, by the mama, and then by the daddy when he get home. Black people, I know y'all have heard that before, right? So apparently back in the day, that's how it was. Think about the Scarlet Letter. Think about during the time when America is really, first starting, to get its footing and everybody's basically checking on each other. You got your nosy neighbor and all of that. Well, back in the day, women could basically say, oh, we saw him having adulterous sex with another woman, and now we can bring him up on charges in court and all of that type of shit. If a man had a wife that wasn't doing what society felt she should be doing, the man can be fined or put in jail and shit like that. Like it was all types of laws that were put in place in order to create this energy that if men don't, keep the lie alive amongst themselves and sacrifice their relationships with their wives, the women in their lives, that they will be punished by the other men. So when you see men not holding each other accountable, it comes from a long history of men basically bullying each other into submission about the way this is supposed to go. Right? You can't treat your wife good. That's why they act crazy with Russell Wilson. He's just a prime example. But there are a lot of men that if they look like they love their wives in equal form, if it looks balanced in any way, there are so many niggas out there that are going to do a podcast. They're going to get on live. They're going to brush their hair, incessantly while they explain to us how bad this is for a man to show a woman this type of respect and autonomy and how this is bad. We shouldn't be doing this. that comes from a long line of men being scared of how other men are going to eat their asses alive if they don't go along with the bullshit status quo that has been created for us in this society, that has been pushed on us from Republicans, religion, and media. Okay, the book is fantastic to put all of that in perspective for everybody. I just like the way it validates what I've always thought. Like, I don't know where y'all live, but none of this shit y'all be talking about online really be making sense sometimes. Makai, thank you for another super chat, my love. Wendy needs to go to Married to Medicine. Gizelle hates her because she has everything: the kids, the husband, career, the sorority. She can't mess with Wendy. I feel that's a good idea because I feel like Wendy would really be able to roll with them hoes on Married to Medicine. I think she would absolutely, kind of have her little back and forth with Dr. Heavenly because Dr. Heavenly has to try to punk anybody that comes on the show. That's just her thing. Celia He, thank you for another super chat. I think that was supposed to be OMG. I swear I keep reactivating the subscription. Anyways, hi Bondi. I love you. Oh, I love you too. I appreciate you. Y'all know how they do me. They unsubscribe people. They take y'all off my membership, girl. All kind of stuff be happening. But that's all right, because I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. Y'all keep supporting the channel. Y'all keep sharing the content. Y'all keep showing up, and I'm gonna keep showing up. With that being said, I appreciate y'all. No, Wendy's not in medicine, but I thought with her husband a lawyer? Isn't her husband's a lawyer? I forgot. I thought he was a doctor. But I'm gonna tell you, it doesn't even matter. What the fuck does Phaedra do? What does Phaedra do? I also just feel like brown skinned girls will get treated better on Married to Medicine. Like, just as a whole. I also feel like because Wendy is so intelligent and because they're elitists on Married to Medicine, it would be the perfect setting for her. Right. She has her doctorate. We all know that. She still works at Johns Hopkins. So I don't know how that would not fit into the criteria better than Phaedra's ass. Just saying. Unknown to Man, thank you for the super chat. I wish Candace gave them her ass more. So since she was gone, I would the exit of a lifetime. You and me both, girl. You and me both. You and me both. Everybody would have been cursed out, called everything but a child of God, and that shit would have aired on Peacock with all of the curse words in it. So you would have heard me. Okay. And right, Eddie is now into medicinal with the selling of his weed. So at the end of the day, girl, that's good enough. That's good enough. All right, y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much for coming through today. I'm gonna get y'all the Love and Marriage Huntsville, whole situation tomorrow. I promise. We're also gonna do a BondyBlue show. For everybody else, and Love and Hip Hop. I think I'm gonna do Love and Marriage DC and Love and Hip Hop together in a members only live, and then we'll just have a public BondyBlue show for everybody this week. Okay. So I love you guys so much. I appreciate y'all for coming through, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Do shake a little something for me before you go though.